This is Mike. From eating pasta with canned tuna to multiple six-figure earners.
I don't want to be normal.
I felt so small, like tiny.
Hey, there's Michael. Hey, Michael, are you a millionaire yet?
Today, I have a guest on my channel. Over the recent years, he became very successful in the network marketing space. And for anyone familiar with that, he does not need any introduction. For everybody else, this is Mike. He's one of my best friends and a long-term coaching client. And I'm super excited to talk with you today about your journey from eating pasta with canned tuna to multiple six-figure earners.
Thank you, Chris. Super happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. And let's go, I would say.
Yeah, let's get right into it. My first question to you is, take me and the audience back to when we first met and how your life was back then.
Super interesting. When we first time we met, I was still studying at university. I was studying to become a teacher, and it was like I think like the last 2 or 3 semesters, and I already felt, oof, that's not exactly what I want to do. I always want to become a teacher because I was traveling a lot, and I taught in Cambodia, in Peru, and in third world countries, and I thought that's my thing. And then I realized teaching in Austria is like a little different, and I imagined myself there in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, and I got scared. But I was also scared to quit the study because my parents were so proud of me. I'm from a super little village, 2,500 people, and I had to finish it, but I already felt that's not my thing. And then we met on a nice little trekking route because you knew my girlfriend back then, and then we talked, and you explained me, yeah, I'm self-employed, and I was super scared, but now I did it, and I do my own stuff, and I back then I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's self-employed. And on top of that, you told me, hey, I'm investing money, and the money can work for you. And back then, I had no idea about money. I was a student. I lived like with 10 euros a day. I had like 300 or 400 euros a month, and that was like the first impression I got of you, thinking bigger and seeing other opportunities.
That's a very nice story. And you mentioned that you were imagining ahead like 3 years, 5 years. What did success back then mean to you? Like, what were you seeing when you imagined your life in these stages?
Success back then, what was it for me? Maybe that everybody is proud of me, that I do what the neighbors, the family, or people expect me to do to earn like money for me, my wife, to have like be able to pay back a house or having children. Kind of that was a success back then for me. And because, like I said, I grew up in this little village, and that's what everybody did. And but then I had this feeling, hey, there's more. There is more, but I have no idea. I have no money. I have no contacts. I'm not a genius. I have no idea what I want to do. So it was super difficult back then to think about success even.
Yeah, especially in Austria, where the mentality of entrepreneurship is a little bit more difficult, I would say. So I can totally understand your fear of taking this leap of faith and taking your life into your own hands. You said that you didn't have money back then. So how would you describe your relationship to money in this stage?
Money was for me like a topic I never talked about, because that's what I learned in a little village. You don't talk about money. You don't talk about how much you earn. And if you want money, you have to work. And the harder you work, the more money you get. The more hours you put in, the more money you get. And back then I worked as a waiter to pay my rent, to pay like my expenses. And I got like 10 euros an hour. 10 euros an hour. So if I wanted 400 euros, I had to work 40 hours. And so money was always for me like a thing I get immediately when I do something for other people. So that was money back then.
Yeah, I totally remember that time. And I remember thinking to myself, like, how can I ever accumulate enough money to live a comfortable life when I have to earn money on an hourly basis? Like, it seemed to me so far away, so difficult, that I thought, okay, maybe being wealthy is just not for me. It's not in the cards. But
Even if you calculate, I calculated then, all right, if I want to become a millionaire, if I have no money, if I put on the side 5,000 euros a month, just imagine you earn like 7,000 euros, like a lawyer or a doctor, and then you put away 5,000 euros a month. Then you put away like 60K a year. It still takes you like 15 years to become a millionaire if you have no other expenses. So it's like impossible, right?
it seems impossible, yeah. But yeah, we know where you are now. And that's a good place to be. Um, Before things started to change for you, and we both know how important our thoughts are in our journey and what we create in this world, what would you say were your dominant thoughts that were running through your mind on a daily basis?
I would say when we had like this conversations and I tried to do my own stuff, then I tried to create my own fitness program and did my own website and like training programs and all that kind of stuff. But I always had like this thought in my mind: can I do it? Is it really working? Why should it work for me? And probably maybe I didn't recognize it back then, but probably I had the feeling, am I worth it?
Yeah,
So do I deserve this?
yeah.
And did not believe in my skills, in my ability, and I did not really believe that I can really make it happen.
So you had, would you describe it as a little bit of a self-doubt loop that you were stuck in? Yeah.
100%. Because I had no role model who showed me how it works. So everybody wants to sell it in coachings, but I had no money for coaching. So I had to figure it out by myself. And it seemed, like you said, impossible.
Yeah. Was there a moment when you realized that your thinking has to change?
100%. 100%. And it helped me so much to talk to you, but also other guys. And I understood if I want to think in another way, I need another input. Just with different input, I can create another output, right? So I started really to read the right books. I started to watch YouTube videos, hearing podcasts. So all like what is almost for free out there, and started to really implement those kinds of books. I'm super good in learning new skills by my own. So for example, when I was studying, I had to learn everything by my own. So I'm very good in that. In Germany, call it autodidactisch. I don't know
Yeah,
English.
you're just learning by doing. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm very good in that. And when I was reading these books, it made more sense and more sense and more sense and more sense. So and I really started to believe, hey, maybe it works.
So back then you were a fitness trainer as well, right?
Mm.
So you were building up your body, the temple for your mind. You were feeding your mind with the right nutrition. You started to read the right books, listen to the right people, surround yourself with the right people. Um, you also have a very interesting saying that I often like to come back to, and you keep saying, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Um, when did that become real for you?
Super good question. Just to go a little before that, I think when until I was like 26 or 27, I was overweight. I was not healthy at all, and my girlfriend back then broke up with me, and I fell in like a deep hole. And then I started with this fitness journey, with this nutrition journey, and that was the first thing before I even thought about being successful in anything. I learned so much in fitness because if you go to the gym, or I worked at home because I did not have money for the gym, and you do it like for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months with a plan, like 3 or 4 times a week, you will see results. And that's so important that you understand, if you stick to something with a plan, plan, do, review something, and you get better and better and better and better. And one day you get the results. You don't get it immediately. Like if you work as a waiter, you get paid.
Yeah.
But in fitness, with fitness, I learned, hey, you do something without seeing results immediately. But if you keep going, you will get the results. Then you will get you will be proud of yourself. You get self-confident. And I think everything starts with a healthy body, with a healthy nutrition, because then you start believing in yourself. You have more power, you have more energy. You look in the mirror, you're proud of yourself. You feel like invincible. Other people treat you differently. If you're in shape, other people treat you differently because they see that you respect yourself because you treat your body and your nutrition differently. So that was a game changer for me. And the same thing in fitness, because in fitness I learned I have to do stuff without getting a result immediately. And the same thing is in business.
Absolutely.
The same thing is in everything. But I learned that with fitness.
Absolutely. So you would say that this is when you figured out that it needs discipline, sticking with it, so that you can reap the results. And you see that, as you said, everywhere. Also in investing, we have compound interest, right? So you pick something, you put money in, then you see it grow, and then you see it grow even more because all of your gains add up to it.
Yeah.
And that's a really wonderful state to be in.
Yeah.
And
But to come back to your question, but for that you need the plan. You only make the plan if you have a goal, and you only have a goal if you have the dream or the vision. So that comes back to your question. Everything starts with a dream. So you create everything twice. First in your mind, and then in reality. And it starts with the dream. If you have the dream, you can break this dream down into a goal. Like a goal is specific. For example, the dream is have a six-pack. For example, if you talk about fitness, the goal is, all right, for that, say I have 90 kilos. For that, I need 75 kilos. Okay, the goal is losing 15 kilos. Then you make the plan, and the plan is, all right, I want to lose 15 kilos and gain muscles. Okay, if I lose like 1 kilo or 2 kilos a month, what is super realistic, and then I need like 7 months. Okay, then I track it for 7 months. Then I have the plan. If you have the plan, you can put in the work. If you put in the work, then from time to time get feedback or counsel from somebody who already did it, who already has what you want to have, or who already did what you want to do. And this is like this is the cycle of achievement. So from the vision or the dream to a goal, to a plan, put in the work and get feedback or counsel. So, and that includes everything you want to achieve. First, you have to think about. So everything what exists, a human being had to think about. This podcast studio, this glass of water, it doesn't exist by its own. Somebody has to think about it. Then if you understand that everything you can see here, you can hold in your hands. Everything you can see in your mind can also hold in your hands if you follow certain steps, from my point of view.
And that's a wonderful lesson in manifestation. That's exactly how it works. Yeah, you first create the vision in your mind, you put your energy, your emotion into it, and then you make it happen. You create it in the physical world, like you said. So what made you decide to go all in changing your life?
And that's a super important point, going all in. That's why, from my point of view, 99% will not get it, because they don't understand the difference between giving 90%, 95%, 99%, and 100%. And giving 100% for me is all in. Why? Because, don't get me wrong, at the beginning I did a lot. I did like, when I started this network marketing business, I did the fitness program, then it was impossible for me to get clients. Then I jumped into network marketing, because with that, I thought maybe then I can get clients for my fitness program, but maybe we come later to that. And after 6 months in network marketing, I earned 100 euros. But I did a lot. I did like 90%, 95%. I attended the team calls. I watched the trainings. I read the books. Maybe there were days I gave it 99%. But I didn't understand that the difference between 99% and 100%, it's not 1%. The difference is everything. Just imagine you want to marry your dream wife, you go to church and you say yes 99%. Still a no. Or imagine you want to go from the US to the Alps, go skiing in Austria, and you go 99% of the way, you will not end in the skiing area. You're somewhere on the road. You did a lot, you did almost all the way, but you're not skiing in the end. So the difference between 99 and 100%, it's not 1%, it's everything. And to understand that was the game changer for me. But to go all in, to give this 100%, because that includes, you have to skip the two fears you have. Because everybody starts with two fears. The first fear is, hey, what could other people think about me? What could others think about me? And the second is, we have fear of getting rejected. So what others think about me, and you have to accept that you will get rejected. And we don't want to do that. We want to stay in our comfort zone. We want that everybody likes us. We do not want rejection. And going all in includes that we have to take this thing. And when I started to do that, you don't do it just, okay, now I decide to go all in. From my point of view, you always need, like, I call it a defining moment. There are always like these defining moments when you decide, all right, until here, that was enough, now I change. Not until here, not farther, that was a boundary, and that was too much, now I change. There's a nice story with the dog and the nail. Do you know that story?
No, tell me.
No, that story was a game changer for me. There's a man walking in the desert, and they're super thirsty because it's super hot, and there they see a farm. And in this farm, there's sitting an old man in a chair, whipping around, and next to him a big dog. And the man walking in the desert, going to the farm, going to the fence, and asking, "Hey, I'm so thirsty. Can I get a glass of water?" And the old man in the chair stood up and said, "Yeah, of course, yes. I just go in the kitchen and get you a glass of water." And the man at the fence was staying there and looking to the dog, to the big dog, and the dog was like yowling, like all the time. Man said, "Okay, crazy dog." The old man came back, gave him the water, and he was drinking, like they were talking, and the dog always did like, and then the man at the fence asked, "What's up with your dog? He's like crying or yawling. What's up with him?" And then the old man in the chair said, No, all good. He's just sitting on a nail." The man at the fence, "What? He's sitting on a nail? Why isn't he moving?" And then the man in the chair said, "The pain is not big enough yet."
Exactly. Yeah. Do you also think that this is the reason why so many successful people out there first had to hit rock bottom before they started to see their vision in their head and were able to create it in the world?
I would say yes. Of course, some guys, and I really admire them, they have like this, there are two kind of motivations. A motivation, you go towards something, which is much better. And there's the motivation going away from something. And in my case, because I was so broke, because I had no idea and everything, like my girlfriend paid a big part of the rent. But I'm the man in the house, so I was like super embarrassed. And for me, it was rock bottom. Most people I know it's rock bottom, but there are also some people who have the going towards something is strong enough. Respect. For me, it was also the nail. And when there's the moment, this defining moment, when you realize, whoa, that's enough. Now I change. Now I make it happen. And when I made this decision, 6 months later, I was a 5-figure a month earner.
That's very impressive. Is there something that you would recommend anybody out there who is currently struggling in finding out what their one missing percent is?
I would really think about these two. There are always two players. There's your dream and your fear. And if your fear is bigger than your dream, you will not do it. If your fear of getting rejected and what other people think is bigger than your dream, you will not do it. So you have two possibilities. Either you reduce the fear and you increase the dream, hoppa, or you increase the dream. And so my recommendation would be either like really talk with people, read books, and try to get to understand that that's not important what other people think about you. It's just in your head. We think they just talk about us. No, everybody has his own life. They're not talking about you. And at the same time, increasing your dream with vision boards. Like when I was super broke 2020, I crafted my vision millionaire by 2025. I did my vision board. I did like all that kind of stuff. So I increased the dream, reduced the fear until my dream was bigger than the fear, and this defining moments kicked in, and then I understood, all right, now I make it happen.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right that fear in our life often acts as this hurdle that we cannot seem to overcome. But maybe let's talk a second about fear, what fear really is. Because if you think about it, what it is, it's not even real.
No.
Like it's something like a possible negative outcome that you pull from the future into the present. Like it's not even here yet. You worry about something that has not happened yet. Yeah. That's what fear is.
Mm.
And if you realize this, at least for me, that was the case. When I realized that fear is not real, it's just something that I pull from the future into the present, that I don't need to worry about that. Because when it comes to this, when it comes to something bad happening, I can always rely on myself, doing the best of my abilities to get out of the situation or to make the best out of the situation. Then I don't need to be afraid anymore. I don't need to fear the fear. Yeah.
That's the game changer.
That's the game changer, yeah. So, what do you think most people misunderstand about taking this leap into taking the life into their own hands and giving 100%?
Mm. First, they don't think it's possible, and maybe they think like I did, they don't deserve it, so they don't even try. But the interesting thing is, and I have a lot of friends who are millionaires yet, everybody who gave 100%, wanted it to 100%, got it. If you want it to 100%, you will get it. You will find a way. So find out for yourself, do you really want it? How bad do you want it? Is it negotiable or not? And if not, you will get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, let's talk a little bit about the help that you can get out there. For example, you started to work with me as a coach. And when we first started working together, what was it that you wanted to get out of the coaching? What was it that you thought that would change in your life?
Mm. I think most important for me was really to understand the way I think, because I understood, like we talked before, that our thoughts are super important. But sometimes you get like this negative thought, not sometimes, really, really often. And for you, it's difficult sometimes to get out of this. And for that, I really looked forward to someone who helped me, like identifying these thoughts, grabbing these thoughts, changing these thoughts, and changing the thoughts in the way I want them to have. That I really can, that I am the boss. That I was like a kind of account. We were like a kind of accountability partner for me. Okay, like once a week I have to. What were the problems? Okay, I had like this kind of thoughts. What if I implement that? What changed? And that was super important for me. Like having this accountability partner and knowing someone who knows how to put in the right thoughts, and also like having someone accessible almost 24/7. So if we work with you super close, that's one of the most important gifts you get. Like if I have a question, all right, investing question, all right, I have the LLC, how do I do that? Hey, I have like this kind of thought. Hey, but also like in the business, infrastructure wise, strategic wise, just a quick question, and takes like 5 minutes at or longest, most times quicker, and you have like this this yes/no answer. You're not the guy who is saying, "Hey, maybe you could do that. Listen to yourself, or maybe you could do that." No, you are on point, and I really love that. I really admire that.
Well, thank you very much. And I mean, I don't tell you what to do or how to run your business. Yeah, I just help you to understand it yourself, like to figure out mentally which steps you have to take.
Exactly, because we create the version I want to be, and you show me how this version of myself would do it,
Exactly,
and then I know what to do.
exactly. And you mentioned something very interesting in your explanation. That was that you had to figure out how to make your thoughts visible, how to change your thoughts.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people out there, they are not aware that you can actually do that, that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who is focusing on them, recognizing them that they are there, who is actually thinking them. But you are not responsible what comes to your mind, right? You just create more of the same thoughts by focusing on the right ones. And that's why awareness, becoming aware of your thoughts is such a superpower.
Yeah, you're the observer.
You become the observer, yeah, and you get the magic wand of focus, and you can say, okay, this is a nice thought. I want to catch that. I want to have more of this. And this is how you create your vision. You focus on this train of thought that starts with your vision and takes you forward on this path towards it.
100%.
Yeah.
But you need people to talk about that, because where I grew up, you more talk about soccer, you talk about the weather, you talk about blaming others, but you don't talk about how to change your thoughts. So it's super important, like your environment really shapes you. And at the beginning, if you don't have money, like I was in a position, really, hey, take care of which books you read, which videos you watch, which podcasts you listen to really get like this online mentors. I get like super successful online mentors, and they didn't even know that they were my mentors, because there's so much for free out there. So you really need to check what inputs do I get from people, but also from like podcasts and books, because like the 5 people you spend the most time with, in the end, that's you. How do they dress? The 5 people you spend the most time, you dress that way. How do they talk? You talk that way. And how much money they have, you're the average of that. So you need to be really, really careful who gets your time.
Absolutely. You need to become selective.
Mm.
And that also plays into something that you said earlier about this self-image that we have of ourselves, that we are afraid that we are not good enough, that we do not deserve it, right?
Mm.
Because if we have an image of ourselves that we are not good enough, that we do not deserve it, and we can be sure that we will do everything in our power to sabotage ourselves in every step, because subconsciously we do not deserve it. So, how did you, or how would you say somebody can get out of this situation? How can somebody change the image that they have of themselves, change the thought that they do not deserve it, that they are not good enough?
Mm. Honest answer.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I say, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. At the beginning, I could not see anything because it was full of clouds. And everybody was, it's just the thoughts. And I, back then in my world, it was so far away. So I could not do anything with that kind of thing. What helped me back then was one thing: that's massive action. If you put in massive action, if you increase the number, for example, in network marketing or in any business you do, if you put in massive action, you will see, whoa, your skills will get better. When your skills get better, you will see that you get results. When you get results, belief is rising. If your belief is rising, you get excited. If you are excited, it's the easiest thing to duplicate. And if you duplicate excitement, you create momentum. And with momentum in your network marketing team or in any business, with momentum, you can create things that other people would say it's impossible. Nobody did that before. All right, you're the first. I always loved it. People, nobody did that before. That's impossible. I say, hey, amazing. Thank you very much for telling me that I'm the first one who is doing it. So if you want momentum, you create that by excitement. You create that by really believing in yourself, but in the thing you do. And you do that only by becoming results. Without results, you will not believe in it. And you get results by better skills, and you get better skills by increasing the number with massive action. And that's for me the formula I did and what worked out for me.
That's a great formula, because you're basically proving to yourself that you can do what it takes, that you can do what you say that you will do,
Yeah.
right? And if you do what you say that you will do, you prove to your subconscious mind that you can be trusted.
Yeah.
That's self-confidence right there. And that changes how you view yourself. And when you view yourself as a winner that can lay down massive action, then the result is clear.
Yeah.
Can you share a moment with us where coaching helped you to get clarity or to overcome a hurdle when you felt overwhelmed or stuck?
Many different situations, but the most important thing I really get is like what you said, clarity. Without clarity, you're always like you're not on a straight path. Yeah, maybe a little bit here, a little bit there. You're not 100% in. But with clarity, you can make everything happen, and that you're really good in that. Like really show, hey, all right, if you do that, this happens. If you do that, this happens. What do you really want? And then you get this clarity. And with this clarity, I was able like to do all this massive action stuff as well. And I remember when we started, I was like at around 12,000 customers ordering every month. So it was like a good business back then. And I thought, whoa, I already reached the ceiling. But now, like, how long we're working together? 2 years, 2.5?
I think it's 2.5.
2.5. Now we are at 55,000 customers ordering every month. So, and now I understand, hey, we're just getting starting. It's just the beginning.
That's wonderful. So clarity helped you a lot to see where you need to go, to figure out what are the next steps. And clarity again is a very interesting concept, because all the information is already out there, right? You just have to focus and get into it. You just have to become aware of what you want,
Yeah.
your thoughts, your vision,
Yeah.
and what are the next most important steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need someone who is showing you the steps and is also like accountable, checking around, are you doing the right steps? Are you on the right track? And is giving you like feedback. Like the fifth thing I said, work and feedback counsel. If you if this part is missing, it's like one part of the cycle of achievement. So for me, it's super important. But if you don't have the money at the beginning, focus on the things we talked before.
Absolutely. So having somebody to give you a different perspective on your thoughts, on your vision, on your path, that always helps out, right? When you look back to your beginning, was there something about your identity, about your story, that you had to let go in order to move forward?
100%. 100%. I had to let go, like the thinking, I'm from this 2,500 people village. And what you do is like mid-20, you marry, you buy your house, and like this normal life what everybody used to have. And I needed to understand, hey, I'm different, and I'm not normal. At the beginning, for me, it was difficult to say that I'm not normal, because I wanted to be so normal. Because if you're normal, everybody likes you, and it's easy. But today I understand, if I'm normal in Austria, I'm probably overweight, divorced, broke, unhealthy, have no deep relationships, neither with girls or with like good friendships with men. That's a normal person in Austria or Germany or wherever you're watching. Check out, if you live in the US, it's even worse. And so I understood, hey, I don't want to be normal. It's good not to be normal. And I understood, all right, there are other guys around me who also don't want to be normal. And it's good. I don't want to be normal. That have really helped me out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not only about wealth and fitness to go out of normality, right? Because what does it mean to find your purpose, right? You find out what you are here
Yeah.
on this world to do,
Yeah.
and that's different for everybody. So
Yeah.
being normal, doing what everybody's doing, is basically saying no to your purpose, saying no to the best version of yourself that
Yeah.
you can create.
Sorry to interrupt, but from my point of view, we come on this earth with a task. And the task is to find out what is our gift, our special ability, our purpose, to find out what is it. We have to find it and to work on ourselves, to try different things. It's good, especially in your 20s and 30s and 40s. Try different things, and you really need to find out where I'm good at, what is my gift, what is my special thing. And if you find that, it's your duty to give that back to humanity, to have like this huge impact. And I really think everybody in every family there is like this one person who feels he or she is different, and he is willing to do the action to bring to create this version. And I call these persons in the family the transitional character, because if you are the transitional character, you 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 don't you don't accept what has been in your family until you. Okay, that was always, we always did it like that, and we always had to say like things like that. So you say, hey, until me, and from me on, there's a new time area until here, and from you there's a switch. You completely change the family tree. You and your bloodline will create something what your kids, your grandkids will talk about in the future, that you were like this transitional character. And for that you really need to master your craft. You need that's what like is firing me up every single day, that I want to be the best in what I do. If I'm doing that, I will create the best version of myself, who is in all different areas. And if I do that, I have an impact in this world. We already built like 3 schools in India. We took like 400 kids from the streets. If I create the best version of myself, I can not only help people in my environment, I have an impact, like what I said, or our grandkids will talk about. And that is like hyping me up like crazy.
That is a beautiful vision. And I think that there's lots of people out there who feel the same, who feel that they are this transitional character in their family, right? But I can also imagine that lots of them are at a point in their life where they have not figured out yet what their purpose is. Um, is there something that you would recommend to everybody, how they can figure out what their purpose is?
Yeah, start searching. Most people don't know it because they plan their holiday more in detail than their life. I planned my holiday, my vacation, more in detail. We're going to visit that, we're doing that, we were sleeping here, we are this day we planned that, but I did not plan my whole life. So you cannot find something if you're not searching.
Absolutely. And for everybody who is searching out there, I want to add something to that. Um, until you find your purpose, make it your purpose to take care of yourself, because that is building up your self image, your self trust, your confidence, your belief in the vision that you will later create. And I don't know, go to the gym, do it like Mike, and build up your body. Take care of who you are, who you want to become, because that's how your purpose will reveal itself to you along the way.
100%.
So, how did your behavior change once you changed internally, once you realized what your purpose is?
I think in my case it was turned around. First, I needed to change my behavior, my actions, and then I thought differently about myself. First, I needed, like I said, to make this kind of action to go to the gym. First, I had to do in order to become. And most people, from my point of view, they want to become, but they are not willing to do. Everybody wants to be someone, but almost nobody wants to become someone.
That's a very interesting point you touched there, because I believe that as soon as you start behaving in a certain way, like going to the gym, you are being a healthy person, right? So it goes hand in hand. You have to embody what you want to become by performing the actions that this identity is doing. So also when you take a look at your vision and you have this image in your mind and you see the version of yourself living in this picture, you can figure out, okay, this version of myself, what is he doing? How is he behaving? How is he thinking? And if you start to act like that, like you say, if you performing the actions, then you actually start to become.
100%.
Was there setbacks or moments of doubt in your journey, in on your path to where you are now, and how did you handle these?
So many, so many, so many. So many times I thought about giving up. I'm not worth it. Will never forget this one moment when I was 6 months before. I was like 8 months in my fitness program coaching stuff, and I had no clients. Then I did this network marketing thing additionally, and after like 6 months in network marketing, I had like this. I earned my first 100 euros. So, but putting in like every night 1 or 2 hours, and it was completely embarrassed. And then I took a vacation back home to the village I grew up. And before that, fitness program, I started to post like pictures on Instagram. I opened Instagram 2020. Before that, I did not have Instagram. And I posted pictures like fitness pics and said things like, hey, I want to build a business now. And that's my program. It's for 149 and blah, blah, blah. And I was riding my bicycle then back in this village, and people were staying there and screaming, hey, there's Michael. Hey, Michael, are you a millionaire yet? Hey, Michael, is your girlfriend still paying the rent? Hey, Michael, are you still too lazy to work? Hey, Michael, 2 months or 4 months or 6 months? When are you going back to school? And things like that. And that hurt so much because you don't know if it works. You just keep trying. You don't want to hurt anybody. You just want to make it happen. But in these moments, you understand the guys who cheer for you the most cases are not your friends. Most cases are strangers. The guys who cheer the most for you. And in that moment, I realized if I give up now, if I quit now, those guys are making bets when I go back to school. If I quit now, they are right again.
So you basically turned the frame around, and you could use their words and their actions as fuel for your success, right?
Exactly. I wanted to prove them wrong. That was my initial motivation. Like I said, away from something. I wanted to prove them wrong. Today, I don't want to prove anybody wrong. Today, I want to prove people right who are working with me. I have like 7,500 people working together with me, my team, partners, and I don't want to prove anybody wrong from my past. I want to prove these guys wrong, that they made the right decision, that they are on the right path, that they are right partnering up with me with the education platform, and that I'm going to make those guys, help them going to be successful. I want to prove them right, not anybody wrong anymore. But at the beginning, that was the driver.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I also see why you're now in the position of being able to prove everybody working with you, right? Because you figured out who you are, you found your identity, right? That you can live, that you can bring to life, that you can share with the world. And that's something so powerful. And I see how you are talking on the stage and how you draw power from this persona that you are and how you inspire these people around you. And can you maybe say something to anybody out there who is also trying to like find this persona in themselves, find this identity of them that they can truly align with, that they can fully embody without having to wear a mask in public.
Mm-hmm. I think what is important to understand, if you are successful already, you are not as good as you think. And if you're at the beginning, you're not as bad as you think. So the gap between us, maybe you and me, the person who is bankrupt like I was 5 years ago, isn't that big like it seems for you. But for the most people, the gap seems so big that they don't even try.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can totally attest to that. Like I remember the first couple of times I walked into rooms where millionaires sit and dine, and walking up and talking to them, I felt so small, like tiny compared to them, because I thought to myself, they must have the source. They figured it all out, and realizing afterwards that they are simply people
Yeah.
like you and me.
Yeah.
They have dreams, thoughts,
Yeah.
fears
Yeah.
like you and me.
Yeah.
Just talking to them makes such a big difference in your minds, and when you understand that you have it in you, that you can become this person.
Yeah.
You don't need to be afraid, or you don't need to put anybody on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like what he said is so powerful. We are born as winners, everybody. You at home, you're born as a winner, but you're programmed to lose.
Exactly. Yeah, and you need to figure out, you need to extract this wrong programming and replace it with something that actually benefits you, with something that moves you forward, with the right vision, the right mindset, and the right identity that is your higher self, your persona that you can take out into the world, that you don't have to hide, that you can be absolute congruent with.
100%. And to understand that, like I said, the gap is not as big as you think it is, but it's also not a get-rich-quick scheme. Not network marketing, not any other business. You have to put in the work. You have to become better. And most people want to go to the top, but almost nobody want to grow to the top. And there's a huge difference. You need to grow to that person. You need to become that person by putting in the action we said before. And if you manage to do that, you will see, whoa, now I see it clearer. Now, okay, the clouds are far away. I can see the top. I can see the mountain. And then you reach it, and then you see, whoa, it was just a small step. There's another one. That one is huge. So it's just the beginning.
Yeah, that's the beauty of life, right? You always can find a higher mountain to climb, and that's always the reason why you can continue to grow. So let's talk numbers for a moment. What changed financially over time in your journey?
The beginning was like I said, super tough. I remember 30th April 2021. I had 800 euros a month to live, pay rent, food, all kind of stuff. And the last 3 days in the month, you said it in the introduction, we had like 3 things: tuna in the can, noodles, and frozen vegetables. We put that together in a bowl, and it was Sunday, and we said, hey, today's the day. On top, we put in a pesto to have a sauce. So I know how it is to be super broke. During my whole life, I was like the broke guy, and always we went into a restaurant. I always looked first. I never checked out what I really want to eat. I always looked first at the price. And when I met friends for a coffee, I said, no coffee for me today. I already had 3 at home, but I would love to have a coffee there. So every time I went to check out the letters, what came, I was like scared. Hopefully there is no invoice. Hopefully there is no invoice. Hopefully nobody wants money from me. I don't have the money. I know how it is if somebody gets sick and you don't know how to afford it to pay for good medicine. I know all like this limiting thoughts, and you feel like the biggest loser. I know how it is to live that way, but I also know how it is to have more money than you that then you can spend. I know how it is to make bigger investments in a month than you earned back then in a year. I know how it is to be in a position where you have an impact not only in your life but also in people you don't even know. Like I said, like we build schools in India, take them from the streets, pay them. We build schools, pay them the teachers, food, accommodation, everything. So I know both sides, and if I can choose, always choose the side with money. Money is not good or bad. Money is neutral. It depends on the person. Human being is bad or good. And if you are a bad person, you will do bad things with money. But money by itself is not good or bad. Money is neutral. But if you're a good person, you can do amazing things with money. So one of my goals is always getting more money, because more money for me also means more power, more influence, more things I can do with that. And so that's it. That changed a lot. It's like thinking about money, because at the beginning you don't talk about it. You like hide it, and now I understand. Hey, I love talking about money.
Yeah, there's also a very interesting programming that we grew up here in Austria, right? That you do not talk about money, and anybody who has too much of it is kind of bad, or has some kind of shady business on their hands. That's an interesting programming to get rid of, to actually start to appreciate money for what it is, for a form of energy, for an amplifier for your personality, right? As you said, if you have this kind of energy, you can do so many things with it. But do you feel that wealth starts in the bank account or somewhere else?
Wealth definitely does not start at the bank account. It starts in your, from my point of view, in your thinking. And how should I say? Because many people think if the number it says on the bank account, for example, 1 million euros, then I'm wealthy. If I talk to a billionaire and I say, hey, tomorrow you have 1 million euros on your bank account, he would say, oh, I'm broke, because he's used to billions. The other one would say he's rich. So it's not the number, it's not the amount, it's not what it says on the bank account. It's what you think about what money is, and also why do many people get paid a lot of money, and why do many people just get paid like 2,000 euros, 2,500, maybe 3,000 euros a month? Because if you get paid more money, you create more value. And so if the goal is creating more value, you only create more value by becoming a better version of yourself, by having an impact in the world, then you will earn more money, and that will make you wealthy, from my point of view.
So again, as you said before, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands, right? You have to first become wealthy in your mind. You have to live in abundance in your mind before you can actually see it in your bank account.
100%.
That's I totally agree with that. And if somebody is listening right now who feels stuck financially or mentally, what would you suggest to them?
Like, really check out the 5 people you spend most time with. Really check out, are these persons giving you energy or taking energy from you? If they are giving you energy, keep them. If they take your energy, as hard as it sounds, get rid of them, and replace them with, if you don't have people if you don't know people in person, replace them with online mentors, replace them with books, replace them with podcasts, and try to find people offline. Like, check out in Facebook groups, say, what kind of business settings or what kind of fitness meetings or whatever is there in my environment, and how can I meet new people who are giving me energy than taking energy. So that's like one important thing. Check out your environment. Get in the best shape possible. go to the gym, or if you don't have money for the gym, like I did not have, do a home workout plan and stick to the plan for 6 or 12 months at least and see the results, so get in shape and really start, especially now it's December, start thinking about, hey, what do I want? What do I want to have? Why do I want that? And how do I get it? What are possible ways to get it? And then try different things. Really make mistakes. Try it out, because mistake is not bad.
That's how we grow, right?
And
So invest in yourself, money if you have it, otherwise time, action, invest in your surroundings and in your mentorship, in your skills, in your mindset.
exactly, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Thomas Edison took like 10,000 attempts to find or to, how do you say in English, to get to the electricity, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan is known for hitting the most goals, or corps in English, but he's also the guy, if you look at the statistics, who missed the most shots. So mistakes are good if you make them, if you learn from them, if you improve. So don't be afraid of mistakes and try things out.
Yeah. If you imagine and you go back in time to when you started and you see this version of yourself sitting there, is there something that you would like to tell to this old version of yourself?
Thank you. Thank you that you didn't give up.
That's very strong. That's very strong. What are you excited to create next?
Next, business-wise, personal-wise, it's next chapter is getting a second child, like really being, one of my big wishes was like being super daddy and be really becoming the person who is super daddy. Business wise, hitting like big on the one hand financial milestones, what were always a dream for me, is going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months, and expanding the business. New school projects. In April, I'm flying back to India to open new schools and search for new projects. So getting better every day, a little bit. If you grow every day, is 0.3%. You grow in a year 100%. So you double everything in a year. Just imagine you double your income from to December next year, or you double the quality of your relationships, or you double whatever your goal is. So that's what I would recommend.
Wonderful. So basically, everybody become the best version of yourselves. That's what we're here for. And one more question. If you have one sentence that would summarize your journey, what would that be?
Trust the process. Trust. That's also what I would say myself. Don't take so many thoughts about, hey, what could go wrong? What could not work out? Just trust the process. Everything will be fine.
Yeah. And above all, trust yourself. Mike, it was a big pleasure having you here today. Big pleasure talking to you, as always. And where can people find you if they want to reach out?
Thank you, Chris, for having me here. The best way to reach out is Instagram, Michael.Stüttler. Super active there. Built almost all of my business on Instagram. So, but also on YouTube. But the best way to reach out is Instagram.
Yeah, we'll put it all down there. Thank you so much for being here, and looking forward to the next one.
Thank you, Chris.